What's up? My name is Shartavius Tay Rudy, and I'm here to give you some advice upon your finances. You know, I think we're living in a time with the way that prices are and the way that groceries are. I think we have to be careful with the way that we spend money. A lot of people don't watch their spending habits. That's why they stay so broke. I'm gonna use going out every weekend. If you know for a fact you got bills coming up, and if you know for a fact you got bills due, you do not need to be eating out. You don't need to be eating out every day. You don't need Starbucks every day. And you also, too, don't need clothes and shoes. And it's sad to say with a lot of people with their income taxes is already gone. Me personally, I put $2,000 up in the savings, and also, though, too, I invested some inside of stocks and some S&Ps. I'm trying to build myself up with a lot more money in my savings account so I can get to the way I can put the rest of that money inside and investing inside in S&Ps and also stocks. And also too, you should have your bills figured out. You should have your bills figured out, what you're spending during the day, what you're spending during the week, and everything. And eat at home. You don't have to go out all the time. You don't have to hang out with friends all the time. A lot of people don't get that. You don't have to go out every weekend burning your gas. That's another thing. The way that gas prices are, you don't need to just be out every weekend round around. There's nothing wrong with sitting inside of the house, finding you a good movie, and mainly scrolling through social media or reading you a good book. I don't know about you, but I'm trying to build myself up. I'm trying to build myself up with money, and I'm trying to build myself up so when I'm in my 40s, in the next couple of years, or 50s, or 60s, or 70s, I'm good to go financial-wise. I don't want to continue to work for somebody, and I don't want to continue to struggle. And I'm very smart with my money. But you need to have your finances together and think of yourself when you're in your 50s and 60s and 70s. Do you want to be comfortable, or do you still want to be working for somebody or struggling? Sad to say, there's going to be a lot of people. And when you sit inside of the house up on the weekend or during the week while everybody else out hanging out, making babies, doing drugs, trying to find acceptance, if you getting yourself together financially, physically, and mentally, you good to go. Half of them don't even know what that is. They've been in different relationships. They've been with different men and women. They can't even stand a relationship. And if they would work up on themselves and spend time with God, they would be in a better position. But a lot of people don't think like that. But you need to have your finances together. And you don't have to be buying all these clothes and shoes. You don't need to be constantly going up on Amazon or going to Nike and stuff like that. You need to take some of that money, put it aside. Half of that money could be invested. If you invest $10,000 right now inside of a stock, can you imagine how much that money will be in 10 years or 20 years or 30 years? You probably have like $500,000 or $700,000, $800,000, or probably $1 million. Nobody knows. Just like the late great Warren Buffett said, you got to stick with it with those stocks. And he's another great example. Warren Buffett been living in the same house since 1956 or 57. He's been driving the same car since the late 2000s. That man is worth $110 billion, one of the fourth or fifth richest persons in this world. That's because he's been smart with his money. And yeah, he have had a little bit more privilege in a lot of ways that a lot of people don't. But still, you got to be smart. And credit cards. Make sure you pay your credit cards off. You don't need a balance up on there. Every month when that credit card balance come around, you pay it. You pay it off, because the only thing they're doing is getting millions and billions of dollars up out of you with that credit card. Pay it off. You don't need to be out spending, you don't. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with sitting in the house, finding you something to eat. You don't have to order all this Uber Eat and go out to all these restaurants hanging with everybody. And sometimes you need peace. The more peace you got, the more you get to know yourself. You will. And also though too, you should just watch what you're spending during the week. And half of that money you just take and put it in a different account and invest it and save some of it. You got to be smart. And I understand things are different since the pandemic hit in. This pandemic hit in and knocked all of us to the left in a lot of ways. It did. Things are much more higher. Groceries are high. The house notes are high. Written from people. House notes are high. It's sad some of these house prices are renting a house or an apartment like $1,900, $1,400. That's a lot of money that they making. But you got to think they had to get their money back some way, because a lot of people weren't able to pay their house notes and they renting from people when the pandemic hit in. Everything just changed. But you got to be smart with your money, and you got to think about where you want to be in the next 5 or 10 years. You got to think though too, how do you want to be working when you're in your 50s and 60s and 70s? So you got to be smart with your money. And you can get there. Me personally, I'm going to get there. Because I'm going to have multiple streams of incomes. I'm going to have my money invested in stocks, S&Ps. All of it's going to get me to a millionaire and a billionaire status. I promise you that. And you just got to take care of yourself. Health is wealth. The way that you take care of yourself. You don't need to be suffering from high blood pressure. You don't need to be suffering from diabetes, high cholesterol. Take care of yourself. You can take care of yourself. Trust. You pray about it and motivate yourself and try. You have to try. You have to try to work out. You have to try to get your health in place. You have to try to get your finances in place. You have to try. A lot of people don't try. You can do it. There's nothing wrong with trying. I promise. Praying and trying will get you to a big spot. I can assure you upon that. And it's like this, be yourself. You don't have to go out here being like everybody. It's just like hanging out. If you're not a hangout person, then that's good. I think all of us do need friends. One good friend or two good friends. But it's like this personally with me, God is my friend. You keep God first in your life and Christ first in your life, then you're good to go. But I just want to get up here and say that. And just make sure all your finances are together. And add up your grocery bill. Add up how much you have to spend a month up on groceries. And all of that stuff that you need, or utility bills, or buying washing powder, or toothpaste, and all that stuff. Add it up and see how much are you spending a month. You have to keep track of that money. And sometimes we do overspend. We can't help it because sometimes it's just like that during the week or months. Like I say, have all of it added up. How much gas, how much you just go in the store and when you need something. Sometimes we have to run and get some milk or sugar and bread and things like that. Add it up. And make sure you have that money just set aside sometimes, or just knowing how much you got in your account so you don't overspend. And set a budget. If you have to set a budget, you can set $100 a week. I mean, you can set $50 a week, or maybe it's $200 or $300 a week. I don't know. Some of y'all got kids and husbands and wives and other responsibilities. I get that. I'm not denying that, but sometimes you have to set a budget. When you set a budget, sometimes you know how much you spend. And me personally, I haven't done it in a while because I know how much I spend during the week, and I know how much I invest during the week, and I know how much I save during the week. You can save up close to $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 if you know how to manage your money right. A lot of people don't get that because they don't know how to manage money right. But you can put it up, even if you are living off a fixed income sometimes. If you're spending that money right, you can save up and invest. But I just want to get up here and talk about that. You have a good one.